So are we starting? We starting right now? Or?
Yeah, we're starting. Yeah, welcome back. This is the Zenhouse podcast. This will be episode 3. Yes, episode 3. We got a new topic, so we got the Scream stuff out of the way. Y'all had some hot takes last week, and Rupert got just annihilated in the comments, rightfully so.
By one Ashley Perkins or whatever her name is.
No, yeah, I want to say.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to say that I still have a fucking fart.
God, I love New York City.
Yeah, you do.
That shit. So yeah, I still have a level of disgust still from the heresy that was coming Rupert's way, the disrespect and the heresy and the slander coming Rupert's way towards everyone's beloved character, Sidney Prescott. But shout out to Ashley Nelson, Madeline Mason, and Nola Ray. I didn't forget about you either for coming to the defense, trying to talk some sense into Rupert as well. So it's good to know that this podcast not only has a loyal fan base, but smart listeners as well. Shout out to all.
Here's the thing. I objection, Your Honor. I like to see my case. I don't have these. None of these opinions are personal. Like I don't know Nev Campbell. There's no reason for me to have a personal vendetta against Nev Campbell. I just want to make that clear. The truth of the matter is that I do believe that. I do believe that I think it's actually in the best interest of the franchise to continue on without her. Because, what are they going to do? She's going to be 70 years old running from Ghostface? Let's be real. I
think Jamie Lee Curtis is in her 60s running from Michael Myers.
Exactly. And what do we think about that franchise right
now? I wasn't. I was into the 20. No, I was into the 2018 movie.
I can't wait for this episode because now Rupert's got done pissing off one fan base. Now he's stretching.
Keep it rocking, baby.
He's getting ready for Halloween now. He's like, all right, what am I going to do?
Oh my God. This is going to be nuts. That's right. Yeah. We're here to talk Halloween franchise. I got some topics lined up. We were actually told some interesting news the other day that I had no knowledge beforehand, which kind of makes me view Halloween Ends a little differently on the negative side. So start this off by saying it's been public knowledge, apparently, I don't know how I missed it, that Halloween Ends is going to deal with COVID, the pandemic, and politics or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, why bring that shit into this movie? I've always of the belief that people go to the movies to get away from life bullshit and enjoy themselves. And now you're bringing real world problems into a movie. Not so much COVID, but like politics and stuff. So I don't know. I just don't really feel good about it.
I just think that there is a room for that in movies in general, but not in Halloween. You know what I mean? Like Halloween has never been a topical movie or a movie that deals with real actual events. They deal with like real actual things like mental health and serial killers and family dynamics and things like that. But Halloween has never ever dealt with, like, for instance, Halloween H2O, right? It didn't deal with Y2K. There was no Y2K in there. Or am I crazy?
I wouldn't compare this.
No, but you get what I'm saying. It's not they take things from the real world and put them in the movie. There's certain movies that do that, and it's okay. And we, like you were saying, Vic and Anthony's and your analogy, Vic and Anthony's and Applebee's, right? That applies here because in the sense it's like they're putting something that we're not used to seeing in a franchise, just for what it doesn't. I don't know. I think it's a personal agenda on the director, Gordon Green.
In fairness, though, every movie nowadays, infuses that in, and while some people can't. I mean, just look at the Oscars, bro. But if some people, kind of err on the side of, for lack of a better word, the shut up and dribble to people in the entertainment world. For the longest time, actually, look at history. It's always in the arts where the conversation happens. Especially comedians right now nowadays. It's like the number one avenue for it. Mm-hmm. And I think movies kind of does that too, but at another angle.
But I agree with that, but just not in Halloween. Halloween has never been that.
Yeah, I just don't see why they feel the need to incorporate that. You could have it without addressing the pandemic and shit like that.
Well,
There's no need for it.
we're assuming a lot because
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
We don't know what they're gonna. From a storytelling standpoint, it opens up a whole lot of possibilities because this whole thing of Michael Myers, clearly is supernatural, even though I believe he wasn't supposed to be initially or something, but he clearly is supernatural. So it's almost like one of those old school sci-fi movies, like, nothing could kill him. Maybe COVID can. Or something.
That's how the movie is.
Yeah. I mean,
could you imagine?
That's what kills him early. And then that's what Jamie Lee Curtis was talking about when he was like, oh, it's going to piss everyone off. That's
what he had a pre-existing health condition.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know who else turns out to be the killer. Maybe it's. I mean, who knows? But yeah.
I think that one of my pet peeves, I guess, when it comes to franchises, I think or just movies in general, is honor the lore, right? Honor the world that you've created. And when people forget the world that they've created, they get into these situations where the audience revolts and they raise a flag, flag on the play. Like you're not being honest. And I don't think that a Halloween movie with politics, current politics, and the pandemic, I don't think it's honest to what we've seen for the last 30 plus years.
Well, you could say the same thing about Halloween Kills, because what we hear in the press and the assumptions that people make, in the final product, listen, these guys, there's millions of dollars at stake. You don't think they know about all these precautions and you don't think they're aware of any of this? I'm sure they have a bunch of focus groups and all that stuff. And so if someone said the same thing about Halloween Kills, oh, they're going to deal with mob mentality and protest and all this crap. I ain't watching. You watch the movie, it's like, oh, it wasn't really political. It just was something that happened in the movie. Granted, they, with respect to the histrionics, took it to an 11. But, for the sake of answering the question and for the sake of brevity, I'll pass the buck from there.
With that being said, what are your personal, how do you see this movie playing out, man? They wouldn't really kill off fucking Michael Myers, would they? I mean, you could keep this franchise going for years, decades. I mean, I don't know. Would killing him off be a smart idea? I don't know.
They'll probably leave it ambiguous. I think they'll leave it where he could have died, he could have not died, just in case, 10 years down the road, another filmmaker wants to pick it up. But I'll say this, maybe there's a chance that it could be interesting, but I just don't see it. And I don't know. Like before I knew all this information, was it yesterday we were talking about, last night?
Yeah.
I thought that it was gonna be like a hunt. They were gonna be hunting for Michael Myers as he's hunting for Laurie Strode. That's what I thought the movie was gonna be, and it was gonna be 3 continuous nights. Or I guess it would have been. Does Halloween Kills take place at the same time or in the same night as Halloween?
I think it's right after Halloween. I think it's like one long movie.
Yeah, so I think it would have been interesting. It would have been like just a continuation, and then Halloween ends at dawn. I thought that's what they were gonna do, but now I'm hearing there's gonna be like a time jump and like a whole pandemic that's gonna happen.
4-year time jump. Yeah.
Jeez.
4 years. Where did Michael Myers go? He just went to Cabos and drank some fucking mojitos. Like, what is he doing?
Fucking hanging out for 4 years.
Probably went to the same hermit cave from part 5.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and kills the fucking poor owner who watched over him for a whole fucking year. Yeah, well,
it's just unclear because when you again the biggest issue with the Halloween Ends is the 4-year gap. So if you have cojones, you kill him off, early
at the beginning,
and then the 4-year gap, all of a sudden something happens, or you do in Halloween Ends what they didn't have the guts to do or didn't want to do in Halloween 5, which is pass on the torch of, now have Daniel Harris's character be the killer.
Yeah.
I mean,
did go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that Marvel did a version of that with Endgame.
I was just about to say pull an Endgame with a time jump like that. Yeah.
If they did a version of that, that's very astute thought on your part, Mike. I think that's the only way it works, because otherwise, how does it work?
Hey, maybe Allison flips out and becomes a killer.
Probably. The thing is, in Halloween Kills, everyone flips out. I mean, there wasn't a sane character in that movie, judging from the dialogue, just based purely on the dialogue and the actions everyone took. But, the things are unclear in terms of the rules set forward. So, he's supposed to not be the sister, yet it feels way more personal to Laurie Strode in these new iterations of the Halloween movie than it has for any other ones. And for everyone else in the town, too. It's almost as if everyone in Halloween Kills was being like a competitive victim. It's more personal for me. No, it's more personal for me. No, he's mine. You know what I mean? It was like, everybody. I'm like, what? And then would Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode was a bright girl, straight A's, was worried about chemistry, worried about leaving her textbook in her high school. I feel like she would have got the hell out of Haddonfield instead of wait unknowingly, for so long for this guy to get out. Unless it was her brother.
Yeah.
Then it makes sense. It's just fine. Everything they retcon, they essentially bring back. Now they put her in the hospital. It's the same thing. Put her in the hospital. It's more personal for everyone. There's no cult. He's not supernatural. Yeah, he clearly is in part in all the kills.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no way he isn't, right?
He's worse than Jason. You know what I mean? Like he's just mowing everyone down. But yeah, what they're going to do, the beauty is we don't know. And the time gap makes it hard to predict. That in conjunction with the fact that they're including the pandemic. I'm guessing maybe another angle is they're going to use their pandemic, kind of like as a Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead thing. Maybe it's regenerative in some people, and they can keep coming back. It's like they're almost like a zombie or something. And so if you kill Myers off, some other Myers-esque character can develop that, depending on what. That's how the pandemic story comes into play.
I would walk out.
Yeah, I probably would too.
If we have zombies in Halloween,
not zombies. I'm saying what that explains Michael Myers's,
what you just described. If that happens, and like people start coming back and they're like new Michael Myers, I'm out. I'm out of there.
To further like state what Mike was saying, like I'll die on that hill, man. Like I will never understand why they retcon the brother sister shit. It just makes so much more sense to me. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they did. I don't know why they retconned it.
Well, I don't mind that they did it. It's just what they ended up doing essentially plays right into.
Exactly. Like I don't know,
hit
bro.
The nail right on the head. You stole the words right out of my mouth. I'm okay for them to take it out, to retcon it, whatever. But then they can't do what they did because then it doesn't make sense. It would make more sense if there were siblings because it's more personal and so on and so forth.
It seems more personal to everyone but Myers. Like Myers doesn't give a damn. They dropped Myers off at Laurie's house. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't going out. He didn't give a damn about Laurie. So it's like, what is this all about, really? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
But does he though? Like I feel like they allude to the fact that he does. Like when he sees her, his reactions are that she's his ultimate prey.
No.
You don't think so?
Not at all. They had to drop
him
off at the house. You know what I mean? So it's like he wasn't even going in their direction.
Hold on. How did he get there?
If we're believing everything they say, according to Hawkins, who survived, who's another Michael Myers.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck he survived.
Yeah, how the hell he survived that smoke, that slaughtering he got, and he got ran over too.
Yeah.
According to him, all Myers wants to do is go home, and look at his reflection off his sister's window, and recite Shakespeare's, monologues to himself. I don't know what the heck he's doing.
Oh my
looking
God.
inward. Apparently, this guy's so deep. He's mute. He can't say a damn thing. And that's another thing. What the hell does everyone give a damn what he has to say?
Yep.
Say something, like the podcast in Halloween, like say something. They want to hear him speak. He hasn't said a damn thing since he was 5 years old. He's uneducated.
I mean,
he hasn't been studying. He hasn't been doing crap for I don't know how long. And they want to hear what the hell he has to say. Yeah, he has not a damn thing to say. It's like, what's Jason Voorhees going to say?
You know what's the
most
most
take on freaking Roe versus Wade or something? What the hell? What do you want him to say?
No, you know what's the most egregious thing though is that like you watch Michael Myers as a how old is he in this movie in 2018?
60 maybe 60 something.
This dude has about zero effort he has to put forward to mow down people, but yet somehow I'm supposed to believe that he was in a mental hospital for 40 years and he couldn't get out. You know what I mean? Like it's just, and he was not only that, he was arrested and all these things. Like,
he got out and he got out on the prison transport. Maybe that was his first opportunity.
Not only that, I think he was fine. Like he was chilling, as much as you can, but the podcasters probably agitated him, how did they let him get in there? How did podcasters get a piece of evidence like his mask?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did he even get his mask? I don't.
They agitate him. It's almost maybe like they woke something up in him, and I think they cracked. Actually, it's all the doctors doing. The evil Dr. Wynn or the evil Dr. Loomis from 2018. He got them out because he crashed a car into the bus and let him out, apparently. So it's almost like this guy's he's just minding his own business, kind of like fine being locked up, and they let him out. And now you have a guy who's been let out, and now the only thing he's familiar with is his home, and then that's all he's going to go to. So in a way, it makes a lot of sense. It's like,
yeah,
but the why everyone's taking it so personal, as they are, and trying to be the hero, I don't know, but that's a whole other story. I have a question. Which one did you enjoy more, 2018 or Halloween Kills?
Oh, 2018.
2018. Yeah. Hands down. No question for me.
But you know what? I enjoyed H2O more than I did 2018.
I love H2O. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I really did.
It's funny because I think the new Halloween movies, their highs with Myers are so high. I think that has to do because their Myers is super, like it's the scariest Myers.
Yeah.
It's just that, I almost wanted Halloween Kills for them to follow Myers the whole movie and just be on his back, or like just follow him the entire movie as he freaking goes through, the town, or at least for like a 30, long sequence. But the scene with Kylie Richards of him walking and like just walking fine, not spotting her, was like the highlight of Halloween Kills, in my opinion. But yeah, I enjoyed 2018 more. But I enjoy this Myers more than I think any other Myers.
Well, the filmmaking in regards to Myers is better. Like the sequences, right? The kill sequences, but not only the kill sequences, but the setup to the kill sequences are better in these last two movies than they have been, probably since the original two. So I think that's why you say that, because it's technically it's better, but the story is not better. I don't think, at least not better than H2O.
Well, I mean, regardless of how I feel about Halloween Kills, I will say some of the kills in that movie were fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So that was
fun.
pretty cool.
To me, it was a bunch of, disconnected scenes, disconnected kill scenes.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it would have been, you know, I think I would have liked it like those sequences more if we just follow him. And you know, it's Myers' movie anyway, so you just follow him the whole time. It's like, wow, this is like a different vantage point. And then it kind of gives you house money. It's like, okay, well, the story didn't really, you know, we're still from what point A from 2018, you know, but we saw something completely different. You know what I mean? Especially if it's just going to be a bunch of kills. But I guess that takes away from the scary part. You don't know where he is, so it's like, yeah, I get it.
You got to build tension.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Let's say David Gordon Green's fired, hypothetically. You come in, full control, Halloween ends. What would you do? What route would you go with Halloween ends?
That's a good question.
I definitely would make it all one night. So it picks up right where Halloween Kills ends. And like I said, like I would have it go for the like he's hunting Laurie. The problem is that like you have to think of like A and a B and a C storyline, because that's not enough for a 90-minute to 2-hour movie, you know. So but yeah, you have the town hunting him down, him hunting Laurie down, final showdown in the third act, and the movie ends with daybreak.
What about Laurie?
Dawn.
Does Laurie make it out alive?
I don't think so. No, I think she dies. And then the real curse, is the curse of the PTSD that is now passed on to her granddaughter for losing her mother and her grandmother to Michael Myers. So now does she grow up with a fortress and a death trap for Michael Myers? Does she think Michael Myers is going to come back?
Not only that, dude, her blonde friend, her ex-boyfriend, her father.
Yeah.
Fuck, who else, dude? This dude's taking out a lot of her family members.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so then the movie becomes about trauma and how we pass it on as parents to our kids, even though none of us are parents, but you get what I'm saying. Like, we pass it on our parents to kids and so on. And so I think that becomes an interesting theme over the course of this trilogy, that gets explored in the final movie, and it kind of leaves it a little bit ambiguous as to how it continues on, but we don't really need to see how it continues on because the story was concluded. But that's how I would do it. I don't know that I would do like a time jump or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Allison would probably end up in a mental ward like Scout Taylor Compton, just batshit, all that fucking trauma. I mean, it's one thing to lose a parent or something, but all those people.
Yeah.
You know, so,
yeah, both.
And she was ready. She fucking, that scene with her and Myers, just do it already. You know, like, goddamn, she was no fucks given. I'm very curious how they're going to handle her in the next movie, Allison. You know,
I remember she was when we saw the trailer, we were talking about it, and we were like, it originally looked like she was stopping Michael Myers from stabbing her, and we were all like, wait a second, like. That can't be what's going on. And it wasn't, but it did feel in the movie like there was hesitation in Michael Myers. And I don't remember exactly why. Do you guys remember?
I'd have to go watch it again.
Judy Greer said, hey.
That's right.
No, but before that.
There was no hesitation.
I think it was kind of instantaneous.
Was it? I have to see that again.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen it too, but I don't think there was a hesitation from what I remember. I know she's down there.
He just wrecked what's his face.
Yeah,
and then walked down towards the Matichak character and started doing work on her.
God, what a fucking death scene, man! Holy shit. Yeah, man. What about you, Mike? Same question, really. What direction would you go?
Well, it depends. Are we still doing the 4-hour time?
No, you can do what you got, full clean slate, whatever you want to do.
It's easy to make a Halloween movie on your own. It's hard to continue what somebody else did, particularly if you know you're not sure where to go, and you're not sure what the rules are.
Bro, you're sounding like Star Wars here.
Well, I don't know, because now Myers clearly is supernatural. That's the only way to explain it. So now you're forced to explain a supernatural element, and you can use either a virus as a reason. The good thing about these horror movies, they all have a bunch of legions of fans. So I think you can do a cool cult thing. You can make like a Halloween 6, really updated, nice version of Halloween 6. And that can explain the time jump, because now it's a cult. And you can do a bunch of things. You can treat him like Friday the 13th, bring him back. You can have the cult come after Laurie. But yeah, I don't know. They're clearly trying to make Andy Manichak's character the new final girl. The problem there is that she has no direct connection to buyers.
You want to hear something funny? I don't know if I've told you guys before. I was in a party in Malibu when I lived in LA one time, and my friend who was with me ran into a guy that worked on, I don't know what he was, on the 2018 Halloween, and they were just talking or whatever. He started telling them details about the movie, and the movie was, in the beginning, it was much more in line with David Gordon Green, and from what he said, oh my God, what's his name?
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride. But the studio kind of made it more mainstream, but apparently the original draft of the script was crazy. And the reason I know that is, at the time I chalked it up to someone's drinking at a party in LA and whatever, don't listen to them. But then a lot of the stuff that they said was actually what happened in the movie. I mean, this was like 2 years before the trailer came out, a year and a half or something before the trailer came out. So, but I wonder how much of it that the complaints that we have are from studio interventions.
Yeah. Especially with kills, you never know.
So we really can't judge. If you liked it or you didn't, you can't put too much blame on, McBride and Green, because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. I've never really blamed them to. I know a lot of people have shredded them.
They brought it back, and Halloween 2018, I had fun, and this one I'm kind of looking forward to too, because I have no idea where they're gonna go with this.
Yeah,
and
I kind of am too.
They can go a bunch of angles. Halloween Kills, everyone kind of knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
that's like a Scream 6. Halloween Ends. I have no clue what they're doing, so there's a lot of appeal to, like, shit. I kind of can't wait to see what they're gonna do.
We're easy marks, so we're gonna check it out regardless. This hasn't been that controversial of a topic, Zach. I think you got to step it up for the next episode.
I know this has been kind of more of a laid back, chill out episode. It's turned into shit.
Yeah,
man.
I think we kind of all agree though.
For the
most part,
that's a choke on my part, I guess.
Nothing triggering. Nothing
I know. I've noticed it. It's been the demeanor has been more calm this episode as opposed to the
Ashley
first one.
and Madeline, you take this week off. You're good unless we said something. But I think you can go easy on this episode's comment section.
Yeah. I mean, except for the fact that Mike has crazy opinions, but whatever.
We can bring it back. We can bring it back to the lunacy that was Roop's takes on.
I'll definitely try to come up with some more topics for future episodes that we can just go ham with. So hey, you know what? This was a nice break from episode 1.
Nothing wrong with a civil conversation, right?
I mean, there's Halloween fans that can chime in.
Yeah, I mean, if we agree, right? Like there's no. With last episode, we didn't see eye to eye on some things. That's okay.
Clearly, we didn't agree on last episode.
We were looking north and south, personal. East and west.
That's as 180 as I've ever seen it.
Rockets fans, okay.
Yeah, it couldn't be more the opposite direction. But I think nothing like Halloween is to the horror community as the United Nations is to the to the world. It brings people together.
Yeah, well, the thing about Halloween though is that I think it's most of ours first horror movie, if I'm not mistaken. Like I'm that's my first horror movie I ever saw
Oh, mine.
as a kid. Um,
I was too scared.
and
What was the first Halloween you saw? My first horror movie, I think, was Friday the 13th, Part 5. You know, but yeah, I remember the first Halloween I saw was the second one. It was on USA, and I thought it was about a bunch of people in white masks terrorizing a town because I couldn't really conceptualize it. I saw Myers jump up and kill this one girl, and then I saw this other Myers guy walking and get smoked by the cop car.
So if you want to know how much Halloween is a part of like my family, for instance, I saw Halloween 6, the curse of Michael Myers. I'm just coming back to me. We would have once a week or once every couple of weeks a movie night, and I watched it with my mom and my dad and my brother. And that's not a family friendly movie. And we watched it when it came out on VHS. So what year was that? Like 96, maybe?
95, 96.
95, yeah. 96. So I would have been like 8, 10 at the most.
As a kid, yeah. I remember middle school when I saw that, I was like, man, this movie's awesome.
Yeah. But the first rated R movie I saw was The Fly. The David Gorenberg, The Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then the first horror movie I saw was the original Halloween.
Hey, I will say, Roop, I do commend you for, even though you got just eviscerated in the comments, you still stood your ground, man. You still stood your ground with your bullshit.
Eviscerated
opinion.
Is kind of a big word. I don't know that that's what happened.
Obliterated.
Obliterated, yeah, whatever term you want to use.
It was a bullet that kind of went like this. It missed.
Nah, man.
Here's the thing. If you're gonna have an opinion about something, it can never be personal. Otherwise, you lost already. That's my personal thought process. Every opinion that I have has to be based on facts and things that I've observed. It can't be based on personal feelings. Otherwise, I've already lost. And so I would never, ever bring that to a conversation, whether it's about sports or filmmaking or arts, whatever it is. I will never do that. So that's why it doesn't hurt, because I know that I have no personal agenda against Neff Campbell. You know what I mean? Like,
it hurts. It's okay. You can say it hurts. You know.
If you come at me, I'm gonna come at you back. That's just
we know it hurts. You know it hurts. And you can have wrong opinions too. There are such things as wrong opinions. So
yeah,
we saw that on full display last episode.
No. That's a correct opinion.
Yeah, and we'll try to have more of them next time we do an episode.
Oh yeah.
I will be
overselling. Overselling.
I'll be digging hard for some. Yeah, I'll be digging hard for some controversy for the next one. Don't worry. But in the meantime, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, I know it's been kind of a drag episode, but it's been nice to talk Halloween, man. We haven't talked Halloween in a long time, so got some fun out of it. But anyways, were you going to say something?
I was going to shamelessly plug Halloween night that you guys made.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Up to 1.3 million. It finally got out of 1.2. It was at 1.2.
Studios, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, check it. I will link that in the description, actually.
Oh yeah.
For our boy JP. Great to see that still getting love, man. Absolutely. But that being said, let's get out of here. Thanks for joining me, guys. We'll be back with a more fiery topic. And as always, remember, Astros suck. Later.